Hey, let's go. Thank you for joining us again tonight. As this week we look at the American and National League Central Divisions, the boom, the bust, and the prospect candidates for each team. But as we always do, before we get to all the fun, we begin by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here? You know it, right now. You're looking live at our split studios. There you go. It's Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 75 for our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast network. I can never get tired of that music. We're also going to discuss some hot stove transactions. How much is Jazz Chisholm really worth? Tarek Skubal, one and done in the WBC, and whatever else we can lay our mitts on tonight. What up?
Nothing. Nothing's up. Cold, watching a little minor league baseball. Also follow us at ball9.com. Follow us on our website, on our site formerly known as Twitter, on the X at fantasybasebnow.com. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us everywhere. And on our YouTube channel, please like the show, subscribe to the show, be part of the show. Because, quite frankly, I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and we're kind of just sick and tired of talking to each other.
Never. Anyway, and I know we have at least one viewer tonight. 33.7 inches of snow in Massachusetts. Good luck with all that mess, but we'll take your mind off it.
Yeah, not to digress, but Mother Nature's a pain in the ass, man. What a bitch he is this week.
Yeah, we got all of 2 inches here in Albany when they told us it might be 8 to 12, but I'll take the deuce.
14 in the Philadelphia region.
Ouch.
2 feet at the Jersey Shore. That might as well be 800 feet.
All right, let's get right to it.
Let's get right to it. We'll go right to AL Central. And it's funny, when you sent me yours, you said it's okay if we have the same players. And I was going through yours, and I'm like, we're not going to have the same players. we're just not.
I knew you were going to have Colson Montgomery because he's awesome.
At 218, yeah. The downside is, though, he plays shortstop. So he's not yet a top 12 shortstop, but he is a top 20 middle infielder if you have a middle infield spot in your league.
Very true. Very true. I would say the same.
Byron Buxton on a different list, my friend, but
really, yeah. Look, you wait for the guy to get hurt. I was down on him all last year. He didn't get hurt, so I got to ride that wave with him. Byron Buxton, in a healthy Byron Buxton, is a top 30 player. That ADP is just insanely low for him coming off the season he had.
You do love Lenyn Sosa.
I do love Lenyn Sosa. What's not to love? The guy's awesome.
You don't make any bones about it either.
289, 290? You got to be kidding me. At a weak position? On a team that looks like they're starting to make some inroads? Yeah, sign me up for that.
And I like your Garcia. Even though he's at 78 and change, you can make a pretty strong argument that he's the third best third baseman in baseball.
Let me tell you,
from a fantasy standpoint, especially,
if
like
he
when you
could
get past Ramirez, and if you, I know, I get everybody's excited about Junior Caminero. I get it. And in a dynasty league, I'm taking them. There's no doubt about it. However, they're switching. Hello, big man from Massachusetts, old man Winter. But they're going back to the Trop. And I want to see a full year because his home road splits were not great last year. And I want to see a full year of him in that stadium.
Yep.
Before I go all in. And I think Garcia is a safer bet.
If Garcia could get those home runs from 17 or 18 to 23 to 25.
Oh, he'd be the number 2 second baseman because of speed.
That's the thing. That's the thing. If you get a little more power, I'd be keeping him in our league.
But I don't think he's that hitter, though. So I don't think he's going to be one of the guys that benefits like Witt and Pasquantino and others on the Royals that are. I don't think he's going to benefit as much from the fences coming in.
Yeah.
In fact, he actually, though rarely in fantasy is total bases, though I lobbied for that for years with the Tim Wallach rule. But OPS is a thing, and he had someplace here. I mean, he had 39 doubles last year. 39, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And 5 triples. And that's what I was looking at, is if he was a 10 triple guy and all of a sudden the fences come in 10, that might turn into 4 triples and 6 more doubles because the throw's not as far. But look at he played 160 games.
Give you a good batting average.
Doesn't strike out. He's almost 1-to-1 strikeout to walk. He doesn't really do either. Like in 666 plate appearances last year, he only walked 62 times, but he only struck out 84 times. So only 146 of those 666 plate appearances did he not put the ball in play.
Yeah.
That's 520 times the ball was in play.
No,
and he's only getting better. He's only getting better.
I'm a big Garcia fan.
Yeah.
Again, he's still on my roster. We know, for context for our league, you keep 5. I still have, I think, 8 guys. I keep a couple guys around in case somebody gets hurt. But Garcia would be keeper number 6 on my team. I love the guy. Again, the power is not quite there for the position, but the steals are awesome. Would you in an open draft, would you take him or Manny Machado? Forget how much I hate Manny Machado.
I would take Garcia in an open draft because I want the 23 stolen bases.
Okay. Welcome, BU. Welcome back from Florida. I hope you brought back some weather. Good weather.
Yeah, he did. He brought back snow to the East Coast. Nice job. And not the kind of snow. And not the kind of snow. And not the kind of snow. There we go.
Hey, James.
There we
James was here last year when we did the Central Divisions, and just
it's only half an episode, asshole. So stop.
He ripped me for putting Vinny Pasquantino on my bust list last year, and he probably turned out to be right. So
he was right.
Now, what about Keyshaw for the Twins?
Look at I love him, and there's not a lot to love in Minnesota, but he really established himself and really fixed that and really fixed that infield last year when he actually got to play. And in a small, like in a pretty small sample size, he's going to get the job full time. I mean, he had 207 plate appearances last year, but he hit 302 and he stole 14 bases. Power number is not great, but it's second base. But if you can get a 300 hitter, if you could have a 300 hitter that steals 40 bases at a position that's not great, then you can take Spencer Torkelson and let him hit 220 with 40 homers. Who cares?
Yeah. The other guy on my list, too, actually, Gavin Williams was a awesome guy in spring training. Then he sucked. But he got to go in the second half of the year. But I really like Riley Green. He's only 25. His ADP just seems too low.
For what he produced last year, for what he produced last year, no, Thomas, I was not out on Vinny last year. I was in on Vinny last year.
I was the dumbass.
And he's a Jets fan. So not only that, but he's also a Jets fan. So he's got a special place for me.
Okay.
I feel like that's right for Riley Green.
Okay.
Because the swing and miss terrifies me with him. But he is only 25 years old. And his numbers were phenomenal last year. And they're good. They're a good team. So
yeah, they are.
I mean, he's not going anywhere. They talked about him for 2 years before he came out. He lived up to the hype. There's no doubt about it.
You think Cade Smith can hold that job?
Yeah, I mean, unless all of a sudden this whole thing with Clase was a big joke and it never really happened. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. And the reason I have him on here is I think he's my third rated closer behind Diaz and Mason Miller. They don't score any runs. So he's going to get a lot. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. I mean, I've never taken a closer in the fourth round. That's not going to. I shouldn't say never. I ordinarily would not take a closer in the fourth round.
12th round.
But head to head, I might.
Nice.
I might take a closer early in a head to head league. We'll find out tomorrow night if I do or not.
Yes. All right. How about our busts?
I can't believe you have Murakami as a bust.
I want to see it. I want to see the production. You know what the other hard part about choosing a White Sox bust player? There's so few of them that have a decent ADP.
It's going to change.
There's only a couple that really have a good ADP, so it's hard to pick somebody, but I want to see it.
It's going to change.
The other guy that's big on my bust list really is Steven Kwan, because if you break it down, low homers, low RBIs, hit 272, which is,
low. That's low for him now.
Okay, he needs more runs scored to be considered a solid 3 category guy.
Well,
the steals are great. That's fine. But the other guy I had to pick on, you're probably waiting for you to anoint Royce Lewis as your AL MVP candidate later in the month. But yeah, he just doesn't play.
Look at. I mean, this is the wrong analogy, but it's the right analogy. Is like I am like an abused spouse with Royce Lewis. like I'm never going to press charges. Everybody in the world knows that he beats me. He's a bad guy. My friends are telling me to get away from him, and I keep taking him back. And I was. You have no idea how close I was to having him as my in candidate. But then I looked at 1.8. But then I looked at the 188 for ADP, and I'm like, yeah, it's about where I would take him. He's not. I wouldn't take him higher than that. One of these years, he's gonna pull a Buxton, and he's gonna be completely healthy, and everybody's gonna be all over Royce Lewis, and he won't be on my team, and then I will have been wrong for 500 years, and then everybody else will be right for taking him, and that's what's going to happen, right? Like I finally divorced him. He became an ordained minister, opened up a home for a soup kitchen, started getting involved in a foster care system, became the greatest citizen in the history of mankind, and will have had nothing to do with him. Except for think it must have been me.
James, you could be 545 and be a bust because he's not even going to see the field. He shouldn't even be that high.
No, he's not going to see the field because the guys on my next list will be wild.
Well, he'll get drafted by people. He made the All-Star game, right? But
what a sham pile of bullshit that
exactly.
was.
But he has some name value, but that's his only value if you believe in the name value. Your list is interesting to me. Noah Cameron and Joe Ryan specifically. Kerry Carpenter, I've owned him. He's maddening. He's only good in a daily league.
I mean, Grant Taylor would be a steal and a half at 389 if they didn't already name Sir Anthony Dominguez as the closer, right? Someday he's going to be an elite closer. It won't be this year. Bibee just doesn't do enough. Bibee doesn't do enough for me. He's a fifth starter for me. And which means that I'm not taking him at 187. If he's there, cool. If he's not, that's cool too. Kerry Carpenter, he's a platoon player. Like I can't take a platoon player at 221. I don't care if Uncle Ted's is the president of his fan club because he hits left-handed. When you're platooning, you can't play every day. And I'll tell you, like Cameron is, if you're making a baseball team and Noah Cameron's your third starter, great. I mean, I think Bubic is going too low. I think Reagans is probably going right where he should be. I think that's too high for Cameron. And Joe Ryan wouldn't have been on here until his back started barking.
Yeah.
And they say it's nothing, but he slides down a little bit for me. We can talk about that at the end of the show. He slides down a little bit for me because if his back is going to be barking, then is that going to be all season? Is that going to be a delay to the start of the season? Does he go to the WBC and then, can't get through a 65 pitch outing? Like, who knows? So, or does he have to back out of the WBC now because he's hurt?
Yeah.
Like, like if he's delayed, then I'm not taking a guy at 72 that's not starting the year in my rotation.
True.
I'm just not. I just can't do it.
How about our?
You got to get off to a good start.
For sure.
Now we go to the prospects. You kind of took my guy.
Which guy?
I like Noah Schultz a lot, but then I've been watching as I watch very little spring training. What I really watch is rookies and how they're like young guys that are coming up and how they're doing. Guys that are coming off injury, what do they look like? But I look at pitchers. So McDougal fills two of those bills, and I know it's early. He's got electric stuff, this kid, and he's one of their top prospects, and they can use like they're it's not like there's nothing on the table for the White Sox. You know what I mean? Everything's on the table for the White Sox. The younger they are, the cheaper it is. So that makes Reinsdorf thrilled. But the sooner you can play these guys and get them big league experience, the better it is. And it's easier to send them down than wait to call them up. And he may make the rotation coming out. He may very well make the rotation coming out of spring training.
Yeah, I got two guys. Like I love Parker Messick. He had a great audition last year with 7 starts.
Yep.
I had him rostered most of September on my team. I think he's awesome. Troy Melton may get a look in Detroit. They're a little backed up now they got Verlander, but Reese Olson's hurt. He may not start in the rotation, but he's probably
Jackson Jobe might miss the season.
Yeah, he's going to get a look. He's definitely going to get a look for them at some point. And I had to put Caglione on there. The guy I kept waiting for him all year. He's too good to.
I think he's going to break out. I love both of the guys we have for the Royals.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm all in. I am all in on Carter Jensen. I'm all in. Like if I can't get Drake Baldwin, I'm skipping catcher entirely and taking him. He is going to be that. He's going to be that good. He doesn't strike out.
Yeah.
Mr. I love Walker Jenkins. I think Emmanuel Rodriguez is right behind him, and they're another team. Like, why not? Like, why not play them? I know they got, Trevor Larks is there. I know they got guys, and like, I get it, but if you bank on Buxton getting hurt, Jenkins and Rodriguez may both be in the outfield at some point this season together.
Yeah.
DeLauder's going to start finally, unless he gets hurt again in spring training, which is like his thing. his superpower. DeLauder is going to be starting in the Indians outfield, Guardians, excuse me. And McGonigal's the number 2 prospect in baseball, and he's why Baez isn't going to play for shit this year.
Yeah. No, DeLauder, all you got to know about him is he made his major league debut starting a playoff game.
Yeah.
It tells you what they think of him. So,
well, he's got great power. And he's a lefty. So he's got that going for him. Which is nice. To steal a line from Caddyshack.
Smashing Cags. All right. National League.
There's your guy.
Yeah.
Your favorite player in baseball.
He is.
He kicked Seth Lugo out of he took Seth Lugo off the mountaintop. And at 197, he should be your favorite player in baseball.
Here's the thing with Cade Horton, that the people, he had the best ERA in baseball after the All-Star game.
He's phenomenal.
I wish he had those last 3 weeks of September plus the postseason. But what's underrated about him is his strikeout rate is less than 1 per inning. But if you take the first half of the year and the second half, it was going up. The strikeouts were starting to come. I think he's a top 100 player for sure. I mean, he's not even close to being properly valued in his ADP. And I think it's a strikeout rate, but that could come up with experience.
Well, he's 1-to-1. He's almost 1-to-1. Strikeout to innings pitched. He doesn't really walk anybody.
Yeah.
He's 3-to-1 strikeout to walk. That's pretty good.
Oh, his whip and ERA are phenomenal. He's on a good team.
He's on a really good team. He's on a really good team. And pitching matters in Wrigley recently. It's not as easy to hit there as it used to be. Except for Michael Busch.
Yeah.
I have 3 first basemen from the AL and NL Central on this list. I think Busch made my top 10. I think you said he was 11 for you. At a pretty deep position, but after him, not a lot, right? But I mean, he did hit 30 homers. They've been leading him off in spring training. That's interesting, to say the least. But I feel like that's a little low, especially here's the pro. Like, okay, so ADP, they're up to 680 drafts on NFBC. But if you've got Vladdy, Kurtz, Harper, Freeman, etc., going in the first 3 rounds, which they have been, they're all gone by 40. If you don't take him sooner than 107, like you may be missing power at first base that you don't have. I mean, do I like him better than Pasquantino this year? No, I don't. But I like him the same, I think.
Yeah.
I think I like him the same. Just like I like both the Cincinnati pitchers the same. I like Lodolo a lot.
So I like both the guys. I thought Abbott 221 is way too low.
Seems too low.
They're both. I'm waiting for the Reds to bust out and have a big year with all these guys.
Well, you'd think.
Abbott, Lodolo, Burns, Green. I mean, that's if they can fulfill that promise, that's a
Brady Singer. Brady Singer's a solid. Brady Singer's a solid rotation guy. He makes you crazy. He makes you nuts because he throws 2 starts up that you're like, man, Brady Singer's great. And then the 3rd start, you're like, get this guy off my I don't even want him on my bench. I want him off my team.
And I got Brandon Lau in there because it feels like the Pirates are actually trying to win.
Yeah, it does feel like they're trying to win. And then the reason I added Jared Jones was because he said yesterday he thinks he's going to be ready May 1.
Okay.
And that's part of why they're trying to win, right? When you're Skeens, Bubba Chandler, Keller, Jones, like those 4 in a rotation's really, really good. Really good. Mizorowski worries me a little bit, I have to admit. Because the knock on him coming up was his walk rate was high in the minors. And he certainly didn't start out like that. He was unbelievable. Yeah. But after the All-Star break, his walk rate was high. We're not missing Chase Burns, big man from Massachusetts. He's being drafted high.
Yeah, he is.
He's being drafted high. He's not better than 48. And Nolan Gorman's going to play every day, finally in a position. So for him to be at 527, especially when he fills corner and middle infield coming out of the gate in leagues that have that, that's too low for him, in my opinion. He's not going to be floating around. Brandon Donovan being gone. Lars Newport decided he doesn't know how to play baseball anymore. And I like Burleson because he's also he's outfield and first base eligible.
Yes.
Now, Central's got some. I mean, the Central's interesting. NL Central's interesting to talk about, with the exception of the Cardinals, who are just a wayward ship. Whoever would have thought we would have said that? We were 2 years ago. We were talking about the Cardinal way for an hour on a podcast, and now we're talking about the Cardinal no way. They don't have a clue.
They've just given up.
Yeah, and the fans are smart, and they've shown them that they know it.
Yep.
You lose 1 million fans in attendance. That's a significant bump.
Yep. Yeah, that place never was that.
Million's a lot.
Even on a bad day, that place was 75% full.
And then out. I do feel like that's too high for Ian Happ.
Here's the thing.
For what he gives you.
Ian Happ's a nice baseball player.
Oh, yeah, he is.
But if Ian Happ is in your active lineup, you're probably not very good.
Well, if you're carrying 5 outfielders, you're probably okay.
He's not going to do enough in fantasy to help you do anything. That's what I don't like. And James Fourier ripped me for Dustin May 541. Someone's going to pick Dustin May because of his name.
Yeah, they are.
And don't.
Yeah,
There's
Krusty the Clown. Somebody's going to take Krusty the Clown, and they're going to wish they never did. They're going to wish they never did. I am so torn on Matt McLain.
I'm done.
Even though he completely violated me last year, I'm so torn on him that I'm gonna end up like, one thing I know about myself is in my completely stupidity.
Hey, Bobby.
My complete stupidness is that we're going to be in the 14th or 15th round and we'll be like, yeah, screw it. I'm taking Matt McLain. And then like a month in, I'll wish I never had him and I'll cut him. And then he'll turn back into 2 year ago Matt McLain and he'll be phenomenal. And then I'll be an idiot. But I look at TJ Friedel, I look at the same as Ian Happ. Like, you want them on your team. Like, they're great from a baseball standpoint. From a fantasy standpoint, they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
I agree on Andrew Vaughn because there's too much evidence to the contrary for what took place after he got to Milwaukee. I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to come around. I've been trying to talk myself away from O'Neal Cruz publicly and privately.
Now, the guy on Twitter that you and I engaged with last night, the NFBC Grand Champion.
Yeah.
He has a different mindset on O'Neal Cruz than I think you and I do. I mean,
was that when I responded? If he makes contact.
If he makes contact.
Assuming he makes contact.
Yeah,
he homered yesterday. He was 1 for 3. No, he didn't homer. He was 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts yesterday. That's O'Neill Cruz. Not 1 for 3. 1 for 18 with 14 strikeouts is what he was last year.
Yeah, I can't make that investment. And the other guy that I just can't draft, I can't bring myself to it, would be Christian Yelich.
I think that's too high. I know he had a really, really good year last year. He had a great year last year. He had MVP consideration year, especially given what they accomplished. I feel like that's too high for him. You know what? I was thinking about this today. The comp with Yelich for me is George Springer. They both could have good years again. They both could have good years again this year and not be as good as they were last year, which means they were drafted too high.
Yeah.
And Victor Scott, fuck you. That's all I got to say about that. No.
Todd could say the same about Jordan Walker, who we just referenced too. Because
that was almost on my. Jordan Walker would have been, because Jordan Walker's getting a ton of hype. This is the greatest time of the year in the fantasy community because guys start throwing names out that they're reaching on, and they think that nobody's paying attention to what they've done for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
like this is the time. This is the time. O'Neill in Pittsburgh, or Ozuna in Pittsburgh, he's going to feast there. He's not a left-hand hitter. And left-hand hitters are better in Pittsburgh than right-hand hitters for power. And he's a power guy. And he's easily replaceable in the lineup. And that's the thing I don't like about him the most, is he's easily replaceable in the lineup. Because with O'Hearn and Spencer Horwitz there, they have 2 first basemen. And Spencer Horwitz doesn't have O'Hearn's power. But Spencer Horwitz has better bat-to-ball skills than Ozuna. And Spencer Horwitz is probably a safer corner infield pick than Ozuna as a utility guy. Yeah. Now, could he hit 40 homers? Yeah. Could he hit 12? Yep, he could.
Bregman's a curious choice. 115, is it? Do you not like him in Chicago, or you just think 115?
I don't like him in Chicago. I don't like right-hand hitters in Chicago.
Okay.
I don't like right-hand hitters in Chicago. It's not a right-hand hitter's park anymore. Used to be. Not anymore. Now that they built buildings off Waveland Avenue. They put the rooftop bleachers on Waveland Avenue. The wind doesn't blow out to right like it used to in Chicago. So I think he's going to dip. I think he's a tremendous signing for the Cubs.
Yeah.
I mean, it screws Matt Shaw to no end, but I think it's a tremendous signing for the Cubs because he's an elite defensive third baseman. He's supposedly a good clubhouse guy. He's won. He's a winning player. Whether they cheated or not, another conversation. But he's a winning player. But I don't think his power numbers are going to be as strong in Chicago as they were in Boston, and they're not going to be certainly as strong as they were in Houston.
I think the Cubs still have a trade in him with Nico Horner, which I think is a mistake. But
I think it's a huge mistake unless they can bring back another frontline starter.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that is. I mean, I did consider putting PCA on this list.
Yeah, so did I, because I don't know who he is.
Is he first half or second half?
I love watching him play, but I
want him to be first half. Like, you definitely want him to be first half PCA.
Yep.
That validates the 30-ish ADP for him. But the second half was ugly.
Yep.
Ugly. And now we go to the treasure trove of prospects. I mean, holy cow. I almost
went by Esteros. Yeah.
Oh, I flip-flopped. I screwed up. I was too deep down the wormhole watching Connor Griffin home runs today.
Yeah. I left him for you. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's better than that. He's it. He's not what somebody said today. Somebody posted today, when Connor Griffin comes up, the Pirates will have the best position player and the best pitcher in baseball. He's not that good. Like, it's like is Roman Anthony the fourth best player and hitter in baseball already? He's not that good yet. I meant to have Made as my brewer and Louder as my Jesus Made as my brewer, because I think he's going to make the team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to move Ortiz to third and put him at short and let him play. Ballesteros, the only thing that concerns me a little bit with Ballesteros is that, like, where's he going to play?
Didn't I read on him? He might be the DH.
Yeah, I think that's what I like. That's the intention, is that he'll DH.
Yeah,
and he can play first base, and he can catch a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, Weatherholt's going to probably be. I mean, you're going to move a potential Gold Glove shortstop to another position, or move Weatherholt to another position, but I think he's going to make the St. Louis roster.
Yeah, I love
Henderson. I love Logan Henderson as much as you do.
I do, and he was on my team last year. If you got to remember with Logan Henderson, he was called up before Mizorowski,
and
Henderson was awesome, but he got hurt, and then Miz came up. And then Liam Doyle, by the way, he's a late season guy, maybe. Jackson Wiggins is a guy to keep your eye on in Chicago. Don't know if he's going to be a starter or reliever, but he's got a high strikeout rate. He'll get innings somewhere. You just don't know the role.
Well, Danny Palencia is going to make a decision about where he pitches, I think.
Yeah.
If he's what you and I believe he's going to be, Jackson Wiggins might be the closer there by June.
Yes. Yeah, Palencia, get the antacid tablets out for that, because he's rough. Sal Stewart's interesting because he's going to get every shot to play.
Well, look, his audition was tremendous.
Yeah.
Like, he's why they made the playoffs.
I thought I read Suarez maybe the DH for the Reds.
Well, they have a platinum glove third baseman there.
Yeah.
Right. And they've like mysteriously signed Nate Lau. So Cincinnati's really hard to figure out. Cincinnati's really hard to figure out. I mean, I would have had Novelli Marte on here, but he's probably being drafted about where he should be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good prospects in the NL Central. Really, really good ones. And Milwaukee has about 11 of them.
They do.
Man, oh man, you got to be kidding me with them. I mean, Jet Williams is another candidate for Milwaukee. He may be their starting center fielder. It might be Churio Williams and Frelick to start the season there. But Henderson's going to make the rotation now that Brandon Woodruff said he's probably not going to be ready for opening day, and he's not that concerned about it, which isn't. I get what he was saying, but it's not kind of what you want to hear.
No.
But I understand where he's coming from. He's still, hey, I want to make 25 or 30 starts. I don't need to be ready for opening day to do that. It's more important for me to be healthy in September. Like, he said it all the right way, but you kind of wish.
Yeah.
You kind of wish. Connor Griffin's second homer today was 440 feet.
No kidding.
It was a bomb. A bomb. Left center over everything.
That's crazy.
So that's the AL and NL Central.
We'll do the Western divisions next.
We didn't do a full show on the AL Central, you dick. So
Western divisions next week. By the way, we'll remind you later. We're going to go our schedules. We're trying not to jump our nights. We're trying to get more consistent, but real life gets in the way sometimes. But next week it will be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Here's my burning question. Jazz Chisholm thinks he's worth $35 million a year.
No.
He's a great player, but
yeah,
that's a lot of cool.
I mean, he's young, right? Is he 27? Is that what I think he said in the? Now, here's the thing. You can never. He's 28, so I half of the stuff you see online, unless I see him actually say it, he did say he said he'd ask for he wants an 8 to 10 year deal at $35 million a year. That's not going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen. And David Sampson, who's an idiot, did say it's not even cocky. Jazz is simply delusional. There's a fine line between confidence and delusion, and that line is generally self-awareness. So Ketel Marte's contract was 6 for 116. So 116.5 million divided by 6 years. Whoops, not minus 6 years. Is 19.4 million a year. And if he thinks he's going to get $16 million more a year, and he's going to get more than Vladdy got. Now, if he goes 50-50 this year, he's going to be able to get whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to get whatever he wants. He's going to be close to it. But I think he's more like a $25 million a year guy.
Yeah.
And he's not getting 8 to 10 years. He's not getting a contract until he's 36 years old. Now, could he get 5 for 145? Yeah. He could. I mean, he's a great player. He really is. He's an exciting player. He's got power and speed. He's a okay defensive player. He's not as consistent as Marte. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But he puts a big, but he also plays for the Yankees. Where else is he going to get? I mean, him saying that if he doesn't get it in New York, he's going to get it someplace else. Who?
And then he comes out and says, I don't want to play for the Dodgers. I'm like, why would you do that?
But they're not going to give him 35.
No, they're not, but they're what the Yankees used to be. You always want their name in the bidding.
Well, they're always in the bidding.
Exactly.
You don't even need to worry about whether you want their name in the bidding. If it's an elite player, they're in the bidding for him.
What's your take on the thing with the WBC scares me is pitchers. I don't want my pitchers gassing themselves.
Well, they can't.
Pitchers are fine. Skubal says he's going to be one and done. Ken Rosenthal just broke that Skeens is going to pitch 2 games. I don't know.
So there are rules. There are rules around pitch limit. So in the first round, they can pitch 65 pitches, which for some guys is an inning and a third.
Yeah.
80 in the quarterfinals. That's a full start for George Kirby. and 95 in the championship round. So they can't. I mean, I think that's probably, and they can finish a batter's appearance even if it exceeds the limit. So if they're at 65 pitches on a 2-1 count, they can finish pitching to the batter. But then after that, they got to come out. Now, I'm going to guess that had something to do. I think the Players Association had something to do with it, but the rest requirements are like at 50 plus pitches, they have to have a minimum of 4 days rest. 30 to 49, they can pitch on 1 day's rest. And they can't pitch on 3 consecutive days no matter what.
Okay.
So that's the closer thing. That's why Ohtani closed the last game. Intentional walks don't count. And it's a 15-second pitch clock with the bases empty and 18 with the bases loaded. So, and that starts next week. So I get it for Skeens. If Skeens is saying, I'm going to pitch 65 pitches in the first round, and then he's got to wait 4 days to pitch again. There's enough talent on that staff not Skeens, Skubal, excuse me. There's enough talent on that staff that they'll be okay. They'd be better if he pitched in the quarters.
Yeah.
Or if they skipped them all together, if they were able to skip them all together and bring them back at the end. And Skeens is treating it just like he would if it was the season, is built like build-up starts. If he was pitching in spring training, he'd go today, throw 50, 55 pitches, and then today's Tuesday, and then maybe Sunday he'd throw 75 pitches. So he's kind of treating it the same way.
Yep.
He's not started a game yet. So I don't know. I mean, I would hope he'd get at least one start in the next couple of days just to get on the mound and face hitters with an umpire and hitters that cared if they got a hit off him instead of inter-squad stuff.
Real quick with Joe Ryan, what bothers me about Joe Ryan is they're going to be terrible. I think he's a really good pitcher. He needs to go. He needs to get traded.
Well, and
now he's hurt.
And the other only real pitcher in their rotation's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And he was a guy to think about taking later. So they're not going to be very good.
No.
But they haven't publicly said, like that fucking idiot Artie Moreno said, that fans in Minnesota care more about safety and affordability than they do about winning.
No.
That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
You want to win.
And the quote of all quotes that I heard today, which was the greatest thing in the world, is that Rockies ownership was criticizing him for saying that. And when the Colorado Rockies are criticizing you for your focus on winning, when they publicly said 2 years ago that 500 would be great, you've really stepped in it.
Yep. This is true.
So next week we'll do the AL and NL West, who we're in on, who we're out on, and prospects. Zach Veen watch starts today.
Yeah, he only gained 43 pounds in the offseason.
He hit a ball 900 feet yesterday.
Yes, he did.
I will see him in 2 weeks live. And then we'll probably do a little WBC, and then
sure.
And then who else got fucking injured this week? Who else got hurt? This week? We're getting closer. Though there may be snow on the ground, we're 1 month and a day from opening day, so we're getting closer. we're getting closer. Maybe I'll give a little capsule on my CBS head-to-head draft that I'm doing.
Sounds like a plan.
Tomorrow. See if the top 10's changed from what it's always been.
Yeah, for sure. All right. On that note, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock live. AL West, NL West, Oakland Athletics baseball.
You'll say maybe by that time Canada will have taken hockey back from the United States. Ooh. Oh no, have to wait for that. What a
brutal.
Talk about imposing a tariff. We put a tariff on them so high that we stole their fucking country sport.
Wow. Wow. The ugly American.
The ugly American. Fuck your team. Tim Hortons sucks.